Alive once again. Thanks for joining me. This is Alien Puke, the Community Cancer, episode 3. It's your boy Simo313, or depending on who you ask, C-Ho313. Yeah, I said C-Ho, C-H-O 313. It's just super clever right there. Anyway, right off the bat, I want to go ahead and apologize for last night's stream. I was using a really shitty mic, and that shit was popping and cracking. So I want to go ahead and apologize for that, man. I think I got it straight tonight. Hopefully I sound alright and clear. Of course, I do, I don't do any planning. I don't plan any of this shit out. I don't do any test streams. I just kind of hop on and whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? We got a few things to talk about once again. Of course, we're going to talk about Alien Man, Alien Puke, but we'll get to that a little later. Up front, I do want to speak about a man who, for some reason, says that he doesn't want any of this, doesn't want to get in the middle of any of this shit, but he doesn't hesitate to hop right in and put himself in the middle of it. And I'm going to speak about Mr. Heist Man Defoe, who thought it was a good idea to do a little stream, call me some names, and give me a really clever little nickname of C-Ho313. Come on, man. You can do better than that. You're more creative than that. You let me down. For real. I mean, if you're going to give somebody a nickname, you got to be a little more creative. Look, dummy. Your YouTube username is Heist Man Defoe. So I guess I should just go ahead and call you Heist Man Defoe. I couldn't even get through that without throwing up in my mouth a little bit because of how fucking corny that is. But you had some things to say. You wanted to talk about some personal shit, talk about what I do for a living, which you and Scotty Boy feel the need to do, and that's how you get your rocks off. You like to talk about what people do for a living, huh? Well, let's go ahead and give the people some background on you and I. Now, what you said was true. You and I were cool for a very long time. I would see you in the chats, and Joe's chats, and especially where we would really meet up would be in Joe's Twitch streams when he would do late night gaming. And we'd start talking to each other, and we'd get along. We would talk about music, we would talk about movies and shit like that. And we liked a lot of the same things, so it was very easy to get along with you. And not to mention, you knew about a lot of the spots in Detroit, some of the spots that are like the good places to eat, the cool places to hang out. Because if I remember correctly, you said you spent some of your time here. Now, I don't know if you just have family and you're up here visiting them, whatever the case may be. You knew some of the spots, some of the cool little coney spots that are around here. So I was like, all right, this dude, he knows what's up. He knows he's got good taste. He likes some good music. He likes some good movies. And I've always had an easy time getting along with all kinds of people, all different kinds of races, I like the old movies, like, you know, shit, you name it. All the shit with Tupac in it, Above the Rim. I think we talked about that a lot. Fucking all kinds of shit. Coming to America. Talked about all the old rap because, of course, I'm 38 years old and I grew up around the time where a lot of the best rap happened. The Biggies, the Tupacs, the Bone, Jay-Z, Nas, all that shit. That's what we grew up on. At least I did. And I think you're pretty similar to my age, pretty close. So my point is we got along just fine. Now don't get me wrong. I love, like I said, I can get along with the white boys and talk about death metal because I love that shit. I can get along with the black people because I love that old rap. I love the good lyricists these days. There's not many of them. I like that one dude, what's his name? Joyner Lucas? I think he's pretty fly. I'll listen to his shit, but a lot of this new rap, especially like new country, a lot of this shit's straight trash. All this like really poppy shit. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Let's get back to my man Heist Man. And the corny ass nickname he wants to give me. And all the little jabs he wants to say. Calling me a bitch. Whatever else. And then follow that up by saying, I don't really know him like that though. I don't really care about him like that. Well, which is it, man? You want to put your nose in the middle of this business? Or do you want to be cool with everybody? Make up your fucking mind, dude. You can't have it both ways. Nonetheless, we got along just fine, and you felt the need to mention that I changed somewhere along the way. Well, let's talk about that, Heist. You and I would meet up in those chats all the time. That was way before you ever had any type of show, way before you did any streaming or even hopped on anybody else's stream like Joe's or whatever else. You were just like me. You were a dude in the chat, and we got along just great because of that, I believe. Somewhere along the way, you were the one that started streaming. You were the one that started getting into all these little fights, all these little arguments, and sticking your nose into the drama. Not me. And as a matter of fact, you brought up the fact that you put that stream out the other day as straight up clickbait. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're gonna sit there and admit that you're putting out clickbait because people aren't paying attention to you, that ain't the Heist Man that I met. That ain't the Heist Man that I spent hours in a chat talking to. So you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, who really changed? I think we both know the answer to that. Because you don't see me getting on here. Yeah, I fuck around. I'm going to keep fucking around. But I don't get on here to get some attention. I got all the attention I need in my real life. I don't give two shits who watches this shit. I've said it repeatedly and I'll keep saying it. By the way, if you're watching this right now, make sure you subscribe. I gotta get to that 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna get the merch, we're gonna get t-shirts and mugs and Patreon. And you know, I'm gonna bring this up a little early and we'll talk more about it later, but make sure, I'm gonna get a P.O. box. I want you guys to send me some shit in the mail. And when you do, I'm gonna do a little stream and I'm gonna thank you and I'm gonna say that you're my best friend. If you send me some shit, I'm gonna do a stream and say you're my best friend, I love you, you're the best person in the world, because that's what other people do. But we'll get to that. I want to say a few more things about Heist, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't like getting personal. I certainly don't like talking about people's families, people's kids, the way they parent, where the fuck they work, you know what I mean? All this shit, all this personal shit, I try to stay out of as much as possible. But for some reason, people like to bring up what I do for a living, where I live, the shit that I do. I gotta make it to my camp, wherever the fuck it is. Oh, it's over this way. So they like to bring up all that shit. I'm gonna bring up something, you know. And again, let me say, this is my shit. This is my show, which I know, Heist Man, I really wouldn't call it a show. You did say, you don't have a show. Nobody can hear your voice. Well, here you go. It's not a show, and I really don't give a fuck who watches it, but it's a platform for me to speak my mind, give you my opinion, and that's what I'm going to do. But if you watched my last couple streams, or I believe it was the very first one when I first brought the fact up that you were talking. This is like deja vu. I think I fell off this cliff like 3 times yesterday. If you watched that stream, I brought up the fact that, you know, you didn't like the fact that I said your name. And if you're gonna put your name out there, you gotta be ready to accept what comes along with it. You know that. You've been around long enough. But it seems like you're fine with it as long as nobody says your name. Like, you're good with the drama as long as nobody says Heist Man Default, right? That ain't how it works, brother. That is not how this shit works. If you're gonna be in it, you better be all the way in it. Don't get mad now. And trust me, you want to say I'm big mad? No, I ain't fucking mad at you one bit, dude. Not one bit. I simply brought up something you said. I'm gonna bring up some other shit right now. On that first stream, I said how you congratulated, or not even congratulated, but propped up Scott for saying names. And now that I think back on it, I remember Scott congratulating for something you did. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago. Can't be too sure, because a lot of this shit just blends together, to be honest, and there's so much bullshit to remember that frankly I forget about most of it. But I remember late one night when you hopped in Scott's stream, and he actually thanked you for something. He thanked you and praised you for allowing your children to come on stream and cuss like fucking sailors. Now hey, let me put this out there. Different strokes for different folks. People can parent how the fuck they want. If you want to let your kids sit there and smoke blunts and drink 40s, hey, have at it, man. Do you. But when I was growing up, that shit wasn't cool. Not with me. Not with a lot of the people I grew up with. Our parents didn't let me... My parents did not let me walk around my own house and cuss. Let alone hop on motherfucking YouTube and start cussing to people on YouTube. Now, YouTube wasn't around, but you get my point. That shit is cute when a kid says, Daddy, I shit my pants. Daddy, you know, what the fuck ever. That shit's cute and all, but you're letting your kids come on here and cuss to fucking strangers, dude. Complete fucking strangers. They're coming on here and cussing. That shit's cute to you? Is that something that somebody should really be congratulating you for? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, give your kids a Newport, a fucking White Owl packed full of fucking wheat, whatever the fuck you want to do. Go for it, bro. Go for it. But just keep in mind, I don't agree with that shit, and most of the people I know definitely ain't gonna agree with that shit. So that's the kind of people we're dealing with here. People that think that shit's cool. That shit's congratulatory and good parenting. What the fuck? Of all the things to be proud of, you're proud of that? Now again, we're talking about Scott McKinnon, who gets his rocks off by Joe Cronin making a song with the lyrics, I want to kill your kids. And he's fucking proud of that. Like, that's a badge of honor for Scott McKinnon. You know, that's the type of people we're dealing with here. Unfucking believable, dude. So that was baffling to see that little stream. You said you're done with it. Hey, man. Whatever. Be done with it. Don't be done with it. Go all out. Do what the fuck you want to do. But if you're going to speak my name, just remember all the other shit. And ask yourself who really changed. Anyway, let's move on to that big pile of fucking alien puke, the 250 pounds of chewed bubblegum, the 6 foot tall fucking, I didn't know they stacked shit that high, Scott McKenna. This dude thought it was a great idea. Hold up, I gotta clear my fucking throat. This guy thought it would be a good idea, after all the shit that we know about him and how he treats people, to hop on a stream and show off the fact that Dickie Nas sent him a camera. After all the shit we know about Scott, and after all the times that he has pushed people away, and not only pushed people away, but fucking flat out attacked people after something happened or they stopped giving him shit. He's on there bragging about the camera. Like, bro, we already talked about, we already discussed how the only reason you're being cool to this guy is because he's sending you shit. Not even 2 weeks ago, you were blocking him in your own chat, saying you don't know if you could trust him. And then he started sending you money, and you gave him a wrench, made him a mod. And then you fucking drank your roommate's liquor and had to replace it, or maybe possibly get kicked the fuck out. And the dude sent you like $300 from England, or from, what is it, the UK, whatever the fuck it's called these days. From like the UK, he sends you $300, which, I don't know, maybe that's like 500 Canadian, I don't know, who the fuck knows. But that's, you know, that's quite a bit to be sending some douchebag that you don't even know halfway across the world, who you know is just going to use that money to get drunk anyway. He isn't going to use it for anything good. Fuck, he even admitted he wanted the money so he could buy a bottle. He was begging people to give him $60. And I was actually going to help his dumbass, because you know what? I know what it's like to have, you know, I'm going to get real with you guys. I know what it's like to have issues, to have substance abuse issues, and you know, I've been there. I get how it is. But the difference is, when people help me out, I was extremely thankful. And when they helped me out, I didn't use that shit just to get drunker or to buy more drugs or whatever the fuck. I used it to better me, and I appreciated it extremely, very, very much. But let's not act like you weren't just a couple weeks ago saying you couldn't trust him and you thought he was doing some crazy shit behind your back. But now all of a sudden he's your best friend. I mean, we see this shit coming from a mile away, Scott. You ain't fooling nobody. Nobody whatsoever. So, I don't know, man. I guess now we've got 3 people part of the drama club. Since that's what you want to do, Heist, you know, you might as well go all in, bro. Go ahead and go all in. We got Scott McKinnon, Mr. Alien Puke himself. We got Heist Man DeHo. And we got fucking Deviant Dave Rose. Isn't that a group of winners right there, buddy? Holy fuck.
We are making something of ourselves. Now this might even put a smile on your face.
Whew-wee. And yes, old man Davey, I got to give you a shout out, man. You notice my horse's name is Chuck Schuldiner from, you know, the late great Chuck Schuldiner from the band Death. One of the pioneers of death metal. Shout out OMD. Good catch. The funny thing is my horse is a female, so it doesn't really make too much sense, but You know, I just kind of fucked up there and made it a female. Yeah, nonetheless, good catch, bro. I'm pretty shocked at some of the people that have commented and are enjoying this shit, man. I'm not putting much effort into it yet at all, not whatsoever. I mean, I got nice mics, I got all kinds of content that I can study up for and shit I can listen to, and this shit really writes itself, to be honest with you. Scott, thank you for the content. Thank you for making yourself look like a dumbass by showing off that people sending you shit and we all know that you don't really appreciate it, and it's just an excuse for you to get drunker and fucking be unappreciative, really? Lord have mercy. This shit writes itself, man. But my point is, thanks. I appreciate whoever does watch this. I try to keep them kind of short, you know, for the time being. There's going to be a time where I study up, and it's going to get more in-depth, don't worry. And I was pretty shocked, not shocked, but pleasantly surprised at all the people who are flat out sick and tired of Scott McKinnon, and glad that somebody's going to sit here and finally stand up to your fake ass. And trust me, like I've said since day one, I'm not going anywhere. This shit's just going to get better. Better with time. So, I'm going to leave it at that for right now. This has been episode 3. I'm sure there's going to be some panties all twisted up in a bunch. And we'll be right back here tomorrow night to do it over again. And, yeah, peace out. Keep it up.